Front Page for Thursday, February 17th, 2022. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. The White House signaled that COVID-19 guidance might be relaxed in the coming weeks as businesses and state and local governments lift indoor mask rules ahead of the federal government. Tom Howe Report CDC Director Rochelle Walensky said her agency will look at hospitals and their ability to juggle COVID-19 cases with treatment for other conditions in making the determination. New COVID-19 cases are averaging 147,000 per day, a 40% decrease from the previous week, according to the CDC. Daily hospital admissions average 9,500 per day, a reduction of 28% from the prior week, and the daily average of deaths, 2,200, has decreased by 9%. Wednesday came and went without a rumored invasion of Ukraine, but U.S. officials say Russia still hasn't delivered on its promise to begin withdrawing thousands of troops along the two countries' border. Ben Wolfgang reports U.S. and NATO officials say they've not seen any movement away from the border, and more than 100,000 Russian troops along with naval vessels surround Ukraine on three sides and are still poised to launch an invasion at a moment's notice. Russian President Vladimir Putin and his aides deny any plans for military action and accuse the United States of fanning war hysteria. Still, the Kremlin continues to insist the U.S. and NATO agree to its demands to bar Ukraine from ever joining the alliance and for a broad pullback of NATO forces in Eastern Europe. 3 Republican-led states are asking a federal judge in Ohio to cancel the Biden administration's limits on immigration arrests and deportations. Stephen Dinan reports Ohio, Arizona, and Montana are challenging the rules written last year by Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas that restrict which immigrants are targeted for arrest or deportation. Criminal records or cases in which a judge has ordered deportation must be balanced against other factors, such as how old the cases are and whether families in the United States depend on the illegal immigrant. The Department of Justice has asked the judge to toss out the case. It says states don't have the standing to sue, and decisions Mayorkas makes are immune to court review. A reminder that you can find these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page, and a reminder that you can get access to the Washington Times at WashingtonTimes.com/George with a special subscription offer. More transgender convicts than ever are making their way to women's prisons, a victory for the gender identity movement, but not necessarily for existing female inmates. Concerns about transgender safety are fueling legislation, policy, and lawsuits to assign prison housing based on gender identity, but Valerie Richardson reports advocates for incarcerated women argue that such measures only trade the welfare of one vulnerable population for another. The 2003 Prison Rape Elimination Act identified transgender status as a risk factor and provided a limited avenue for transfers on a case-by-case basis. Under the latest advocacy wave, however, such housing assignments would become the rule rather than the exception. And finally, White House correspondent Jeff Murdoch provides his analysis of the recent filing by special counsel John Durham and what the fallout will be for the Biden administration. Durham said in the filing that people affiliated with Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign exploited access to Donald Trump's internet data to link him to Russia. That's put a focus on the Biden administration because several top Clinton campaign officials have made their way to the White House. One of them is National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, a former foreign policy advisor for the Clinton campaign. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app. And follow us on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.